1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. All right, guys, that's what we're going to be learning today. That really cool minor intervallic lick. Okay, we'll go into that in a second. My name's Dan from Your Guitar Academy. I'm so happy to be back with the wonderful guys at Guitar Control to bring you this lesson. Now, first thing to say is in the link in the description, you will find the tab for this because it's a bit fiddly, okay, and it's well worth checking out the tab. You can get that via the link in the description. And I'm going to walk you through it. I thought I'd give you something a little bit different today. And the idea of intervallic might be something that you've heard of before, or just a word that gets thrown about sometimes. But actually, in terms of the context I'm looking at it here, it's actually a very simple concept. It's just breaking out of the concept of just going up and down a scale, okay? So for example, this is all based in an A minor scale. But actually, it sounds quite a lot darker than that. And it's because I'm jumping across large intervals to make something sound a little bit more interesting. So typically, as a rock or blues guitarist, we're very used to kind of playing quite scalar. i.e. kind of playing like, if I've got this kind of jam track, I might end up playing something like... Right? Now that sounds great, and I love playing like that. But I want to show you something that will throw a bit of a spanner in it, and give you an idea to kind of start going down this road of doing something with a bit more distance between the intervals. So an interval is simple. For example, that to that is an interval of a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a fifth above. Or if I did this, it's an interval of a sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flat 6, okay? And the more you start to jump around between intervals, the more interesting a sound you're going to get. So, without further ado, let me walk you through this lick so that you can start to understand that concept, have a really practical lick to work with, and then hopefully start to come up with some of your own. So, let me take you through this. We're going to start here on the root note of A. And like I said, we're just using the A minor scale. We're using it in that first shape, and we're also using it in the second shape. And of course, this second. So make sure you kind of check out that link below if you want those kind of those scale diagrams, so you know what scales we're using, but that's very much where we're basing all these ideas. But just because of the way we're doing it, it sounds really different. So let's go for it. So we're going to go from the root here. We're going to jump up to the fifth, and then up to the flat sixth. We're going to slide up to that. Okay. Then we're going to grab the 7, which is the octave. So quite big jumps already. Now, how kind of different does that sound? How quirky and dark does that sound? I'm highlighting some of the kind of darker intervals. So root and fifth and octave, very nice, very easy. But the flat 6 is really key to the sound of the natural minor. That is a big part of this sound. So by highlighting it, we're getting a darker tonality. Then I'm going to again jump from that interval there, that root, all the way down to the flat third here. Okay, so again, highlighting a really important interval within the minor scale, the flat third. Normally within a major scale, you've got the major third, okay? So, again, big jump. Normally you might do something like this to get to that, but I'm just jumping straight to it. Then I'm going to go through another set of intervals here. So back to the fifth. Then I'm going to jump a fifth above that and do that little thing there. Okay, so again, working through some of the core notes. So we've got those two notes there, the 9th up to the 10th. Okay. And again, just part of that minor scale, that A minor scale. Again, using that flat 6 idea. Oh, hang on. Again, using the flat 3rd idea. So 2nd, flat 3rd. Okay. Then continuing with this intervallic idea. 9 to 10. Okay. So I'm using those two notes, those set of notes there, which you probably won't have done too much, but you can hear it straight away. Sounds really, really cool. Then a massive jump up to the 7th fret, 8th fret, and then root note. And again, that's the 2nd, the flat 3rd, and the root. Okay. So overall, nice and slowly, you get this. Okay, I'll do that again. Okay. Now in terms of timing, it's just the very first note that we play for a whole beat. The rest of them are all played the same amount of time. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. Like that. Okay. So if I do this jam track with it, you'll hear it again, but I'll do it slower this time. So. Let's just put some chords underneath that as well. So the A minor 7 to the diminished minor 7 flat 5 there. Okay? Well, it's not minor 7, that's a diminished chord. So I am leaning into the idea of this kind of darker tonality there. But here's the lick. Really cool sounding lick. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Really, you don't need to get too bogged down in the theory other than to note that we're jumping bigger intervals. You can do it with any scale. You can just take your pentatonic scale there. And you can start jumping intervals a bit more. See? Just working through intervallically. And that's what we mean by an intervallic lick, that you're just starting to explore the scale in wider intervals. Now you can use this particular lick wherever you like, okay? It's in A minor in this instance, but of course you can just move that into C sharp or B or whatever it is, so into B. You know, it just uses the scale boxes. As long as you attribute it to the right boxes, you can move it any way you like. And basically play it over anything. Like if I just do a kind of relatively standard minor chord progression, let's do it in B minor this time. Something like let's go. 2, 3, 4. So typically you'd have this. Play the pentatonic. Let's try this lick. Let's do it again. And I bet that'll sound great if I do that and then go into like a pentatonic thing. So pentatonic. as you can hear. It's a great sound and something you can have so much fun with. So play around with that, and I'll see you next time for another lesson.